Alright guys, welcome back to another Swiggle video. So we're here in the game because we take a look at the episode track, right? Episode Era Piracy Episode 2. Scroll all the way down. Check this out. Level 50. Alright, here we go. Bronzium Lightspeed Token. So it seems like we're getting our Smugglers first. I thought it would be the Separatists based on how the post was written on the forums. But no, we're getting our Smugglers first, which I actually enjoy. I would actually prefer this. So we have our Bronzium Lightspeed token here, as you can see here. It breaks down the stats. So we say using this token would bring any smuggler up to level 85, gear tier 12, 4 stars. That's actually pretty good. I actually assumed that we would just be getting a Carbonite token, but I mean for the first Lightspeed tokens, Bronzium Speed, gear tier 12, that's any character from here. Basically pushes them over Chirotex. Or rather, it skips those like pre-gear 12 Chirotex stages, which is pretty good. For free. Well, for free if you get the level 50. So you can see here, gotta get to level 50. Which might be pretty difficult for, I believe, like most players. But if you can, I mean, hey, how long does this last? So the episode, it's about a month. So every month you get a free relic character. That's not that bad if you can get through that. And for the paid players, right on the paid side, you get a Chromium Lightspeed token, which is pretty good. You get them at level 85, as you can see there, level 85, relic tier 1, 5 stars. And ability upgrades to level 5, which is not bad, not that bad at all. So we'll take a look, and let me see if there's requirements. So required era, released in the Legacy era or earlier, can apply to Smuggler, can't apply to Galactic Legend, as we saw. Journey Guide unit, Conquest unit, Guild Raid unit, and Territory Battle unit. Okay, this is all basically that we saw from the post that was on the forums. So there you have it. And I've checked on, actually we can just check in the game, right? You go into your collection, you'll see there's a new tab there on characters, favorites, and then here's Lightspeed tokens. You can click on find available tokens. It'll bring up the token and show like the characters that are applicable. It's applicable for. We click search here, and as you can see, available as a reward on the episode track. And if you click on the Chromium token as well, we click search. Same deal. And then what else? I believe that's it, right? And then you have no Lightspeed tokens, 5 more below. Pretty good. Let's just check and make sure that there isn't any other. So we're scrolling down, you see, episode pass, rewards. I usually get these up to. So this is my main account. On my main account, I get them up to around level 32ish, but I'm not like focusing down. I'm skipping some of them, like the territory battle ones. I can't really do because what is it? I can't do platoons when it has like please set like 3 units and deploy the 3 units in the like little section. Usually my guild gets that done, especially when it's like Res of the Empire stuff. So yeah, as you can see there, no tokens. But that's a different talking for a different video. I'm gonna switch over to my PC side of things, where we'll take a look at who you should get up, or who you should use your Lightspeed tokens on. So let's do that right now. 1 second. Alright guys. Let's see. So we're here over at my spreadsheet that I have for who the Lightspeed bundles. You can see here's a Separatist edition. I thought they were going to do Separatist first. But apparently not. But we have here my table that shows the applicable units that can be selected with the Lightspeed token that we are going to get this month. And then here's just a screenshot of what basically was on the forum post. So for today's video, we're gonna look at tier 3 and tier 2. So Bronzium tokens are for basically your free-to-play players. That's your reward if you get up to level 50. And then for paying players, and you can get the Chromium token. So let's start off with, let's start off first with, as you can see, there's a checkmark for Lightspeed mono players. So let's start off with people who play who bought Lightspeed bundles, or if you're a paying player and you're planning on purchasing Lightspeed bundles, that would be the best choice to start off with, just because. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so Lightspeed bundles are, it's pretty easy to see who to pick. My bad. So let's start off with the first character here, Hondo. Should you pick him? No. Especially if you're a Lightspeed bundle player. If you bought the for Lightspeed bundle, that's where Hondo's at. Skiffgar Lando, I would also say no, because I believe he has a Lightspeed bundle. Let me check though. So I'm gonna check my images for the screenshots that I have. Let's see if I can find the Jabba Lightspeed bundle. Where's it at? Chewbacca. So he's not in the Chewbacca Lightspeed bundle. Oh, here we go. Oh wait, closed out. Jabba Entourage Lightspeed bundle. Okay, so he is in the Jabba's Entourage Lightspeed bundle at Relic 5. So if you have that, it hasn't been reran yet. It hasn't come back yet. I believe not recently at least. But I mean, it might come back soon. I would say for any Lightspeed bundle, minimum time that I would say it would come back in would be so it's currently July. It would be probably be the earliest you can probably see it would be maybe in November when the game has its anniversary, or the holidays as well. And usually, I mean, last year we got a pretty good amount of Lightspeed bundles during that week of Christmas or holidays. And then after that, I would say the latest you can see it would probably be May 4th, then for the May 4th celebration that we have. But that's for any Lightspeed bundle. So Skipper Lando, no, not in the Lightspeed bundle. Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, also no, because he's in one of the Rey Lightspeed bundles. She has, I believe, two, one for Jedi Training Rey, and then basically the rest of the requirements in a different Lightspeed bundle. So all for that. L337, no. He's also in a Lightspeed bundle, the Radis Lightspeed bundle, not Radis the capital ship like the Rebel ship, but the Resistance capital ship. That's where L337 is at. Zori Bliss, I mean, this is your choice. Zori Bliss she hasn't been in any Lightspeed bundle, and I believe, I mean, this is the best character you can probably get for the Crime tier, so Relic 1 gets you through all of those Kyrotechs. It's a pretty good character overall, especially Zori Bliss works at low stars. You just really need the Zeta on Finn lead, and then her own Zeta. We can take a look at that later. Let's get through these characters though. So young Lando, also know, shares the ship with L337 as part of that Radis Lightspeed bundle I was talking about earlier. Young Han, no. He's in the All Hands on Deck Lightspeed bundle. So if you got that let me actually check. Let me make sure that is true. But I believe he's in there. I really gotta organize these these screenshots as well, because it's a bit difficult to find them. He is in the All Hands on Deck Lightspeed bundle at Relic, what is that, 6. So I would say don't spend your token on that. Kira, I would also say no. I believe this is in the Smuggler Lightspeed bundle. Let's see if I can find it. Lightspeed bundle. It's a bit down lower. Dr. Afra. Yeah, so she's in the Smuggler's Lightspeed bundle along with Dash. I mean, we'll get through these characters, but she's at Relic 5. I would say no. And talking about Dash, here we go. Dash Rendar. Also no. He's in the, as I said earlier, the Smuggler Lightspeed bundle. So no for that. Vandor Chugi. Vandor Chewbacca. Same bundle, Relic 5. Also no. Sana is in the Dr. Afra Lightspeed bundle. At Relics, also no. And Nest, same bundle again, the Smuggler Lightspeed bundle. Actually, hold on a second. Okay, the reason I said that is because the Smuggler Lightspeed bundle, it contains Nest, Vandor Chewbacca, Dash Rendar, and Kira. And our friend Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca is in the Lightspeed bundle, but that's in the Riot Lightspeed bundle, not the Smuggler Lightspeed bundle. As you can see, right, as I was talking about earlier, Zori Bliss, the pretty obvious choice for this round of Lightspeed tokens, especially if you're a Lightspeed bundle enjoyer or you're a paying player, you're planning on picking up these Lightspeed bundles whenever they come out. Zori Bliss, pretty good character overall. We go over here to swiggle.gg and we pick up, let's see, Finn. Let's open that. Any new tab? Okay, cool. And then we'll pick up Zori as well. No, not you. Zep. Let's see, here we go. Zori Bliss. Open any new tab. So why Zori, right? If you bought the Ray Lightspeed bundles, you have Finn and Relics, and we take a look at balance tactics and Finn Zeta lead. You do need the Zeta for this to work. It says resistant allies have 60% defense, offense, and potency, and other allies have half that amount. If an enemy is damaged by a resistance ally, for each exposed on them, that enemy loses 5% turn meter for each resistant ally. So I'm not sure if that includes Finn, but at most 25%, probably maybe 20%, assuming it includes Finn. Our resistant allies gain 3% turn meter for each resistant ally, so 50%, or 12% if it doesn't include Finn. I believe it does, so 15%, and their cooldowns are reduced by 1. Overall, this is, like I was going to say small Imperial Trooper team, but I would actually say this is the improved Imperial Trooper team, because you're reducing turn meter from enemies, and then you're gaining turn meter by yourself. So you need the Finn Zeta, and also you need people to expose. If you don't have people that are exposing, you're not getting this like second clause effect. And I say that because I tried this on my main account, and I did Finn lead, Zori, the 2 resistant heroes, so resistant hero Poe and Finn, and then Zori herself. And I find that team doesn't really get that, it doesn't get running because resistance hero Finn and Poe don't. I don't believe they do exposes on it, like their abilities. So I would actually say you go for like somebody else, basically somebody that can apply exposes constantly. Sorry. So we're not gonna. You can read the abilities. But what we're really looking for is it, which one is it? You can see I don't actually. Let me check my account really quickly because I know I only gave her one Zeta. I didn't give her the other one because one of them is like Luxor Zeta. They're both good, and if you have these Zeta materials to invest, you should definitely go for it. Especially if you have the Marvelix. This is a great team to place on defense in GAC, and they're good for clearing content as well through like conquest. And I believe that's about it, right? Territory battles, you can probably do that as well. But if you're doing like Rise of the Empire, I don't know how good they're gonna be there. So let me check. Okay, so I have the Spice Runner skills Zeta on. So let's take a look at that. So it says Zori gains stealth for 2 turns at the start of each encounter. Smuggler allies have 35% accuracy and health steal. Whenever an ally triggers an expose, all allies get recover 5% protection. The first time each resistance or smuggler ally falls below 100% health, that ally gains 100% turn meter. If that ally was a non-tank, also gain protection up 100% and stealth for 2 turns. If that ally was a tank, gain damage immunity and taunt for 1 turn instead. If this damage immunity or stealth is dispelled, that ally recovers 100% protection. And then whenever Zori uses an ability while stealth, smuggler allies gain buffs based on their roles. So attackers gain critical damage up for 2 turns, healers and supports speed up for 2 turns, and then tanks critical hit immunity for 2 turns. So as you can see here, when we're triggering exposes, we're recovering 5% protection. And then with our Finn lead, beyond recovering 5% protection, we're making our enemies lose 5% turn meter. Actually, 50% turn meter. That one specific enemy is losing 50% turn meter, and then all of our allies are getting 3% turn meter. So 3 by 5, 15%, about 15% turn meter, which is really why as I was saying earlier, you want people to expose. First, you need there's more of us. Let's check let's view these upgrades. Okay, so it's adding the tenacity up. Actually, I'll just check from my in-game. Let's see, let's read that out. So here's the full thing with that, right? And then, so without the Zeta, it says if the ally in the leader slot is not non-underlying force user resistance, so basically a call out to Finn. It says resistant allies have 100% potency, while they have more allies than enemies and have 35% 35 speed, while they have equal or fewer allies than enemies. Whenever Zora uses an ability while stealth, the ally in the leader slot and any Poe Dameron gain retribution for 1 turn. If Poe is taunting, he also gains critical hit immunity for 1 turn. Whenever a resistant ally has less than 100% turn meter and gains bonus turn meter, they gain 35% offense stacking for 1 turn. So that's a direct call out to Finley right there. When we're triggering expose, we're getting bonus turn meter. 30% bonus, or around 15% bonus turn meter, right? So they're also getting offense for that. Then whenever a non-underlined force user resistance ally removes turn meter from an enemy, they inflict speed down from 1 turn. Again, call out to Finley. And then finally, whenever a non-underlying force user resistance tank taunts, they gain 50% max health, stacking for the rest of the encounter, and whenever taunt expires on them, they recover 50% protection. So really what you wanted to do with this team is you wanted to make them go... You want them to take the first turn, so that you're triggering these exposes quickly, and then it just spirals out of control. If you play with the Imperial Troopers team, you want basically the same deal, right? You want somebody to go up, take first turn, start mass assistance, so you gain those stacks of the Emperor's Trap. That's a buff, and then that feeds your turn meter, basically. You basically want this same thing here. I call it the Improved Troopers because you're gaining like protection, you're removing turn meter, doing a lot of other stuff. You're getting offense as well, as we read from these abilities. So if you're a Lightspeed player, if you're a Lightspeed bundle player, right, or a paying player, you're planning on buying these Lightspeed bundles whenever they come back, I would recommend picking up. And also, if you're buying the episode pass, right, for $20 for that a chromium level, if you're gonna get the token at the end, I would say pick up Zori. Basically great character, rounds out all your resistance team, and yeah, that's about it basically for the Lightspeed bundle players. Okay, so let's reset this Excel sheet. Let's take a look at what is it. We're going to take a look at who you should pick with your Carbonite token if you're a... Oh, actually, I didn't talk about that. Well, if you have the Carbonite token, and I mean, if you have all of these characters already bought through a Lightspeed bundle, you're gonna have to dismantle it, right? And I think you get a couple of reports, and it's not that many. I believe it's about... Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to look at the post. So I believe you're for sure you're gonna get, I think... Actually, I'm not sure, right? I had this issue where if you get like if you get a token, right, it's not going to give you the full rewards, and I'm not sure which rewards that they're going to give you. So I think for a Chromium level ticket, I believe you're going to get like signal data and some Carbonite circuit boards, which really sucks because you mean you're not really getting that much, I think, in terms of value. Overall, if you're a Lightspeed bundle player, if you have all these characters, it's kind of like a waste. The episode pass, I believe, is still good value. I'm not the math guy again. I don't know if it has good value or not, but I believe our friend Egnard's made a great video like breaking that down. So, but I mean, if you're not a Lightspeed bundle player, if you don't have all these characters, right? I would honestly still say, well, let's talk about that, right? Like, let's say you haven't bought Lightspeed bundles. Maybe you just bought 1 or 2 of them. Who would you pick, right? Hondo, if you don't have him from the Afro Lightspeed bundle, and you're gonna get him at Relic 1, probably. If Hondo's your character, or if you're gonna get a... I was gonna say, if you're gonna chase Galactic Legends Hondo, probably should want to pick him up, but I would still say, pick up maybe the Afro bundle. Then again, it's $50 compared to 20, but if you're spending money, right, if you have that money for that, I would say pick up the Afro bundle. Still, Skiff Guard Lando, same reason. I think Honestly, who would I would pick, right? If you didn't have these bundles and you're not planning on buying them, I would still say Azori. Pretty good team, pretty good unit. Probably the top tier unit to pick from this list. And after that, I would say maybe Skivgor. I'm gonna go with basically the reason I'm thinking about it's like who has the highest character needed. Skiff Orlando, Hondo, Zori, Dash Rendor, Asana are all of your Karatech heavy characters, and then everybody else is basically doesn't really. I don't believe they require Karatechs. So I would say if you're not planning on buying any of these Lightspeed bundles, if you don't have, or you're not planning to do so in the future, I would pick one of those from these. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any of these 5 characters. It's a good use of your token, especially if you're paying $20 for that. Great use of your token, I believe. Okay, so that's that. And now let's actually talk about our free-to-play players, right? So if you manage to get the episode pass to level 15, give me 1 second. Let me just update something really quickly. Okay. Okay. If you manage to get your your episode pass to level 50, and you're gonna be rewarded with your Bronzium level token, right? So that's level 85, 4 stars, gear tier 12. I mean, if you're able to do that, that's great value for free, because it's basically saying take any of these, like I was saying before, any of these Karatech heavy characters, right, up to gear 12, and you're gonna be paying basically. Let's check out Zori, right? So if we check your gear list, so it's 250 shock prot and then 150 battle computers. And in reality, if you get this token, right, you're actually just gonna be paying for 100 shock prods, and you're skipping over those. You're saving yourself about 150 Karate computers, and then I think 100 as well of the shock prods, which is great value to me. I mean, if you're a free to play player. So let's go around the list and let's see who to pick. Now, since we're at Zori here, probably my first choice. Let's actually write that down. First, right? Great character overall. Really great team on defense. Gets constant done pretty well. And the best part about Zori is that her team isn't really like if you're not going for these resistant hero, like the resistant hero characters. Let me look up for resistance. There we go. Resistant. Alright, so you're gonna want Finn. Finn doesn't require Karatix at all. Pre-gear 12. Like gear 12, I'm sure every character is gonna need that Karatix of one type out of 100 for like 100 salvage to make that piece. But Finn himself doesn't require Karatix to get up to gear 12. Near this Poe, these two characters are the ones that I have on my team, and I think it's the one people recommend. I would say no, because I know these two characters don't provide enough explosives to get that Terminator running through. I would actually say maybe pick up if you're doing GAC. Rose Tico is pretty good. I mean, let's bring her up here. Well, if you're gonna bring up Rose, you're gonna want to give her Omicron. So Rose Tico has a 10% offense for each exposed enemy whenever another resistant ally scores a critical hit. Rose Tico gains 10% Tumor. I mean, it is what it is, right? Who cares? What you really want is this. While in Grand Arenas, other resistant allies also gain 10% offense for each exposed enemy, and they gain 5% turn meter whenever a resistance ally scores a critical hit. Game changer. Well, not game changer, but really great Omicron, especially if you're planning to put her on defense. Rose herself does not put exposes, right? That's just a stun. Resistant let's get defense up for 2 turns. Turn meter for each resistant ally. Yeah, nothing. And then nothing. I mean, it's kind of a waste. Let's see, does he require higher text? So just 100. If you want to go to GG, right, and you only see 100 card text, it's mostly just the finisher. And if we check right here on the gear, right? Yep. So you can see here, it's just gear for the last finisher piece for gear tier 12. So I would say, right. So you put Finn on your Finn. Zori, Rose if you're on GEC. If not, I would say maybe like Resistance Trooper. Yeah, Resistance Trooper, and then Poe. because that team actually gives you a good amount of exposes. Yes, as you can see here on the basic, deal physical damage to target enemy, 65% chance to expose them for 3 turns. And then on the first special, deal physical damage to target enemy, dispel buffs on them with a 50% chance of exploding scholars. Actually, so nothing on there, just on the basic, but you'll probably be doing basics more than that's the first special, especially if you're doing that on offense. And then the unique here, yeah, Resistance Trooper has 10% potency and gains 55% turn meter whenever an enemy who is not exposed becomes exposed. So really just helping you get those exposures there, especially on that basic, right? So let's go back. And then Poe, right, as I said, Poe. Poe has also callouts in Zori's unique. But he himself just licks expels on his first special. So taunt for 2 turns and remove 25% turn meter from each enemy with 65% chance to also expose him for 2 turns. And then inflict buff immunity for 2 turns on the primary target or on the target enemy. Yeah. I would honestly say that make your team to be that instead of running those resistant hero pilots, just our resistant hero units, just because they don't expose that often. Or maybe you can also put resistance pilot as well on that first special, right? Deal physical damage to target enemy, 65% chance to expose him for 2 turns, and 65% chance to gain foresight for 2 turns. And then he just gains turn meter whenever. So resistance pilot has 5% critical chance and 5% evasion, gains 25% turn meter whenever they evade or score a critical hit. So whenever he evades, he's going to gain turn meter. On basic as well, he has a 55% chance to gain turn meter, so you're just running that turn meter third to get back to your outmaneuver. And I would say if you're picking up Zori, Finn, if you're picking up Zori, make your team Finn, Rostigo, and GAC, otherwise Poe Dameron, and then Resistance Trooper, and then whoever else is your free. Basically a flex slot. I'll put Pilot there just to get that team running, basically. So there's the friend Zori. Second, I would say for free-to-play player, right? I mean, if you're going for one of these like farming guides, you're doing your Java right, you're rushing your Java or something. I'd pick Skiff Orlando. Brings him up to Relic 1. You don't have to deal with the Card space. Or not Relic 1, my bad. Thinking about the other one. Bronzium brings them to gear tier 12. You're both going to be paying about 100 card decks of one kind to bring up to relics, so you're saving all of those. Actually, instead of saying you're saving yourself basically all of that card text to go on to a different character, I'm gonna say pick instead. Just so that I mean, these are all great choices. It's going to be dependent on your account and what you want to do with your account. Hondo, I would say pick. He's going to be usable for the raid for about a year, right? So it's going to be up to July. Or he's going to be usable if you've been farming pirates. I know they're not haven't been well received in the game, but I mean, if you're doing pirates or you've like Hondo or you're maybe chasing Galactic Legend Hondo, right? I would say pick Hondo as well. Vet Smaller Han, I would not say pick up Vet Smaller Han or L337 because these are characters that don't require card text at all. And bringing them up, like especially with the new quality of life update, right? 63 million to bring them up to level 85. I mean, you are saving those resources, but in the long run, I mean, these characters have gear that's non-card tech, and I'm thinking on perspective that most players, right, that are free to play are having issues with getting that card tech. That's why I would say instead for your token, right, your low Radium token, pick somebody who requires card tech. Actually, let's make sure I'm not, messing that up. Let's see, Veteran Smuggler, Han Solo. Let's check the gear list. So, yeah, just 100 on the shock rods, and I'm pretty sure that's that's finisher piece on gear tier 12. And we'll go scroll through quickly. Syringes. Yeah, no card text. So I would say don't pick up Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. And since we're here, right, in the resistance faction, let's just get through gear. So this is the 100 shock prods again, but that's just on the finisher. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be Chewbacca better than Smuggler, but also does not require Kartik, so I would say no also to the Smuggler Chewbacca. Young Lando, same reason no, and Han as well also no, because they don't require Kartiks. And so, let's see, Young Han Solo is a character in the that you can pick up using your raid tokens. So he's a 200 a pop for purchasing. At 30, you're gonna need about 33 purchases to get him basically all sharded up. And then if you pay, I would say like maybe on average, probably can get like about 30 purchases of him a day. So it's about around 11 days basically to get him done, farmed up completely. And then we check our gear, right? So 100 again, shock prods on that finisher, but if you look at it more closely, no additional Kartik, yeah. So I would say no to Young Han Solo. And then Young Lando. Young Lando is in ships stage 1, hard 1, or ships in the, give me one second, in the fleets stages, fleet 1, like the last node, so in the hard modes basically. So stage 1 hard mode, last stage is where you can find our friend here, Young Lando. And then we check again on Jakari Tech, salvage. Yeah, as always, the finisher. Just making sure that he doesn't have any other card check hidden, and it doesn't. So I'd say yeah, no to these young boys right here. Kira, so I think it's the same situation, right? Let's see, not quite gone. Yep, here we go. Let's bring her up. Check her gear list. Yeah, 100 shock prods. Then I believe that's yeah. Then now the finisher. And then, yeah, no cards like otherwise. Okay. Yes, I would say no to Kira as well. Dash Rendar pick. He has Kyrdex. That's a good amount. Is your leader for your smuggler or your prepared crew? So yeah, honestly, I would say yeah, pick Dash. Dash is your leader for a prepared crew. Let's bring him up. He's a great leader. I enjoy him. I have him on my main. I don't have him at Relics, obviously, or at Gear Tier 12. I do have him at 7 stars. The only issue is that I don't use him that often because, so he requires, let's bring up that gear. So you can see it already, 250, 150 car attack. So it's 100 there for the finisher, and then I surpassed it, but yeah, at gear 11 he needs car attack, and then at gear tier 9 he also needs car attack, and that's about it. So mine is sitting at gear tier 9 because I'm not putting the car attack into him. But I mean, I like him, especially when my account was barely at start. Oops, here we go. When my account was starting out, I enjoy using this team because on his basic, he deals physical damage 3 times to the target enemy for each critical hit. Call another random prepared ally to assist. If you get a lot of assists on that, links 75% less damage. You get a lot of damage from that and a lot of assists. This is a cheap stun, basically 2 turn cooldown. 2 turn cooldown. You physical damage, right? Dispel buffs on them, stun them, and then this is the best ability, not the best ability in the game, but the most fun to just click and then you smash people basically. You're dealing physical damage 3 times to all enemies. The first instant of damage is spell stealth and dazes for 2 turns. Second instance of damage inflicts defense down for 2 turns, and the third instance of damage, my bad, inflicts critical damage down for 2 turns. And then the attack can be evade or resistance. Pretty great ability, inflicting daze, removing stuff, and it hits pretty hard as well. So why dash, right? He's gonna be your leader for your prepared crew. So scout allies enter the battle prepared, and prepared allies gain an additional bonus based on the roll, double for Lightspeed scoundrels. It's basically doubled for everybody because I don't think there's a dark side scoundrel that can gain prepared. Whenever a scoundrel ally gains prepare, they gain critical damage up and offense up for 1 turn. So where is that again? Prepared allies. So prepared allies are getting, so prepared attacker allies are getting an additional 15% critical damage. Tanks are getting 15% max health, and then supporter healers are getting 10% potency and 10% speed. If you're gonna pick dash, I would say invest in his Omicron. Whenever on Grad Arenas, if an ally loses prepared, they gain prepared. I think you're gonna run him with Vandor Chewbacca, and you're gonna make a really annoying team basically in GAC. Hotshot, we're just getting so Scoundrel allies are getting 20% max health, 20% potency, and 20% offense. Whenever prepared allies scores a critical hit, all prepared allies gain 2% turn meter. So that's just gonna help you, push turn meter through to your team. In terms of a team, right? I would say Dash Rendar as your leader, and then is Vandor Chewbacca? Yeah, so Vandor Chewbacca is available. I would say not to pick him because I would rather you pick your Dash Rendar. Vandor Chewbacca, I don't, but I believe does not require Kyrtex either. Let's just make sure. So Vandor, right? Chewbacca, gears list. So 100 there. I'm assuming it's just, yeah, that finisher piece. And let's just make sure he actually doesn't need anything. Yeah, okay, he doesn't. So I would say don't pick Vandor Chewbacca. You do want him on the team, so I would say farm him up if you don't have him short and you're planning on pick up that Dash Rendar, and you're gonna want his Zeta, this Ferocious Protector. So it says while Chewbacca is buff, he has a 100% counter chance. He's not gonna be hitting hard though, so just keep that in mind. At the end of each turn while Chewbacca is buff, if any ally took damage from an attack and Chewbacca did not, he recovers protection equal to 10% of his max health. And actually, my bad. Is it this one? Yeah, it is this one. Okay. So even any ally took damage from an attack and Chewbacca did not, he recovers protection equal to 10% of his max health, and other Scoundrel allies recover half of that amount. When Chewbacca recovers, I think it's supposed to say recovers up to max protection. When Chewbacca recovers to max protection this way, he becomes prepared. Whenever another light side ally, whenever another light side Scoundrel ally is defeated, revive that ally with at 60% health. If Chewbacca is prepared, then Chewbacca is no longer prepared, right? But remember, from Dash Rendar's lead in GACs, in Grand Arenas, if the ally loses prepared, they're going to gain prepared. So it's basically always going to be prepared. And whenever another, whenever another light side Scoundrel ally is defeated, Chewbacca's going to revive them. He's going to gain prepared. It's going to be your opponent's going to have to target Chewbacca basically to take them down. So as I was saying, Dash Rendar as your team, as your leader, Vandor Chewbacca. I would say actually let's bring up these Scoundrel. Can we do search by prepared? Prepared. Maybe not. Let's just go by Scoundrel then. Let's do the filters. Smugglers, so just not Scoundrel. So I would say, then we can search through light side. Or not. Never mind. Let's look through. So Dash Rendar is going to be your leader. And then, so people put IG Limit and Quill because these two don't have a hold anywhere else. You can put them there on your team. It's going to make them really annoying. Let's see. Especially, because I believe this also affects, just any light sky Scoundrel ally is defeated. So you can put them there, and that's probably why they put them there. IG Limit Tots constantly. Quill is just giving turn meter to the team. And then, so that's one. So Dash Rendar is 1, Vandor is 2, IG Limit and Quill is 3 and 4, and then you need one more. And people usually put L3 there at the end. And that makes a good team. You don't really need Kira or these other. I mean, I would say Young Han Solo hits pretty hard if you get him ramped up, basically. But yeah, if you're looking for a team on defense for GAC or Dash is your favorite character and you want to do like a prepared crew, you pick up Dash. Great time to pick him up. Sana, alright? I'm gonna put Sana's pick because she does need Kyrtex. Uh, but I don't feel like people are using Sana. She is good, but we'll take a look at her. Emphas Nest, honestly, huh? I was gonna put Peck because she is good as a solo artist, not as good as she was before, but she's still pretty good and she's still pretty annoying on defense if people don't know how to counter her. I would say honestly though, probably not to pick. Let's check actually. Let's see. This on that's not Sana. Emphas Nest need Kyrotex. Business gear list. So just 100 Kyrotex, and I believe that's just the that's mods, not the mods. Yeah, that finisher piece. Let's see, make sure. Yeah, okay. I would say no to emphasis. It's not that she's a bad character. She's a pretty good one, especially if people don't know how to like get around her. So this part right here. So the Nest has 80% counter chance and ignores taunt during her turn. Whenever Nest is damaged by an attack, she gains 30% critical chance and 40% bonus protection stacking. This bonus protection increases an additional 40% each time. Both bonuses expire and reset at the end of her next turn. Whenever an enemy loses a buff or debuff, the Nest gains 2% critical damage and health, still stacking until the end of the counter. And then this is just Nest can gain more than 5 stacks of profit for the Pirate's energy. Well, it's this gaining bonus protection, stacking whenever she's attacked. If you don't know how to counter that, it's gonna basically make your opponents a timeout in GAC. So that's why I like her. I would say not to pick her though, because no Kyrotex again, and then Smuggler, Chewbacca at the end also no. So there's that, and then let's take a look at Sana, right? Sana seems like a fun character. I would honestly, I would farm her on my main account. I just don't. She's gonna be sitting at like gear. I know she needs Kyrotex. Let's just check the gears, right? So she needs gear 11, Kyrotex. Gear 10, no Kyrotex. Gear 9, she needs Kyrotex. And gear 8. Yeah, see, this is the issue. She seems fun, but I mean, if you're not planning on investing Kyrotex into her, she's gonna be sitting at like gear 8. And with how GEC is nowadays, that you're facing Lex squads, it's gonna be, she's not gonna survive. So let's take a look at her lead. She is needed for Afra, so if you're planning on getting Afra, maybe pick her up. I would just honestly, I would put her at the bottom, right? If you don't have any of these other picks, so I'd say Zori, right? If you don't have Zori, or I would say first 2 picks, honestly. First 2, first, and then first as well here. Pick one of these 2. Skipguard Lando, actually, I'm gonna put second because you're only really picking up Skipguard Lando for Jabba if you're playing or if you're rushing Jabba. Otherwise, I actually would say pick up Zori or just pick up Zori. I think that's the best one. It's actually Zori or Dash, because Dash had gear tier 12. He's gonna have that he's gonna have both the defense and the health to survive attacks. Mine's is sitting at whatever he was at right before Kyrotex, so gear tier 9. He's not. He is a bit squishy. I be gear tier 12 though, right? He's gonna have a lot more health and can pack a lot of a bigger punch basically. So I would say honestly Zori or for free to play players, right? Let me write that down on the side here. Is it 30? Yeah, let's say 39 minute. Doing time snaps for guys so that you don't have to listen to me talk a lot. So yeah, I would say for free to play players, so either Zori or Dash as your first picks. If you have any of these characters are your favorite, pick them first. Honestly, actually no. If any of these characters from the new Kyrotex are your favorite character, pick them up. Otherwise, I would say stick to either Zori or Dash, just because these are characters that are going to give you a team, going to give you a good team to put on defense, especially in GC. They're going to be able to clear content like Conquest, and they're just going to push you through any other type of content that you need to get through. Otherwise, I would say then pick either your Skiff Guard Lando if you're going for Jabba, Kondo. I would say for the raid, or again Geo Hondo coming out, or Smuggler. I believe he might be needed for Smugglers Run 3. We'll make a video on that later, but if he is, I would say actually Hondo comes up to the list like immediately up, right? because I think if he's, I'm not sure if it's either the Geo that's going to be needed for Smugglers 1-3, but if it's just normal Hondo, Hondo's your first pick instantly, because you're going to want him at Relic 3 and Relic 9, I believe, for the other 2 tiers. And this is going to be the best, I would say. I'm hoping it's going to be the best event, basically. Otherwise, and after you do, if you have all of these at, like, relics, then at the very end, I would say pick Sana. And why? So let's take a look at her lead, right? So Rebel Scoundrel tanks have 30% defense, max health, and max protection, and gain 50% turn meter whenever a non-tank Rebel ally or Sana is damaged by an attack. This is basically a call out to, let's bring up characters, and then just bring up Han. You're the one Stormtrooper Han on the team. This is basically a team that revolves around him. So where were we? So Rebel allies and Sana have 30% offense and potency. At the start of battle, Rebel allies and Sana gain protection up 100% until they use an ability. So a great way to make sure they hopefully survive. If any team has, like, it's looking at Iden Stormtroopers, Iden against that. Iden, Han Solo with his he shirts first, and then any other team that's gonna be outspeeding you. It's just a way to make sure your character survives. And then whenever a Rebel ally or Sana has less than 100% turn meter and gains bonus turn meter, this is basically, you're gonna gain bonus turn meter through this draw fire. Yeah, and so Han taunts for 3 turns, and all other allies gain 30% turn meter. In addition, all other allies gain 20% turn meter when Han is damaged while his taunt is active. So that's this is basically a call out to that ability. So if actually, where is it? Here we go. And gains bonus turn meter. They gain 20%, 5% critical damage stacking until they critically hit an enemy. If a Rebel Scoundrel removes turn meter from an enemy, the enemy also takes damage equal to 20% of their max health, which can be evaded. This damage can't defeat enemies. The first time each turn, Rebel allies or Sana deal damage more than once, they gain 25% max health, stagnant max 200% for the rest of the encounter. Whenever Rebel allies or Sana critically hit an enemy, they inflict target lock for 1 turn, which can be invaded. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with target lock, reduce Rebel Scoundrel tanks cooldowns by 1. So this is just a way to get back to this taunt. Because, let me check. Yeah, so Sana has 35% counter for chance and 20% critical chance. At the start of each Rebel ally's turn, whenever Sana evades an attack or whenever Sana attacks out of turn, all non-Scoundrel allies are affected with suspicious for 1 turn, which can be copied or resisted. Sana assists whenever a non-attacker Rebel Scoundrel uses a special ability. Whenever Sana assists, this way she recovers 20% protection and Rebel allies recover half of that amount. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with target lock, Sana gains 5% turn meter. Again, can gain more than 5 stacks of profit. So suspicious temperament minus in speed, 100% critical chance. I was thinking, doesn't she gain taunt? Give taunt to somebody? I thought she gained taunt. Rebel scans, yeah, or is it? That's not how this is. Huh. Did I skip over it, or did she not? I thought she gave taunt sometimes to Stormtrooper Han. So Stormtrooper Han is only giving this turn meter to other allies. Whenever you have to press his ability, he has to be taunted on this ability. That's what gives turn meter to other allies. Otherwise, if he gains taunt from any other source, this is not gonna proc. Which is why I was saying, like, yes, like Sana seems interesting, but hey, it's just like you're relying basically on Stormtrooper Han. So who is going on her team, right? Sana, Stormtrooper Han. You're gonna get a lot of callouts to. If I click on, or I'm just lagging. My bad. Rebel offers her Leia Organa because on her second special she's hitting up 10 times. And then I believe anybody. I don't know who the last 2 are. This is basically your team though. Sana Stars, Stormtrooper Han, Rolo, and yeah, that's about it for her. I would say honestly pick her at the last slot because you need Rolo. Rolo's a like Mark II raid tokens unit, or what is it? I think it's a Mark 1 from your territory battle rewards unit, and also she's on Hoth. So it's gonna take a while to get her up and running. Not that much, especially if you're like on a guild that's prioritizing getting that who's running like Hoth light side territory battle, so you can get her done somewhat like around in 2 to 3 months. If you're like pushing Augur. If you're not doing Hoth, it's gonna take you a bit longer, basically. So yeah, that's gonna be about it. Excuse me for these Who Lightspeed Token, the first iteration. These are my picks for our free-to-play players. I would say first pick up either Dash or Zori or Skivguard Lando if you're going for a Java rush. Otherwise, then after that, I would say either Hondo or Sana. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you got to the end of the videos, put a comment down saying, I made it to the end kind of deal. You need the kind of deal as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you next time in the next video. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but that's it. So talk to everybody later. Man Motor out.